Ladies and gentlemen, you know my first guest tonight is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Please welcome Tom Holland.
Ever since he swung onto the scene back in April of 2016, Tom Holland has become famous for his portrayal of the one and only Peter Parker of the MCU, whom casual watchers of the franchise may know better as Spider-Man. Considered by many to be the most wholesome actor in Hollywood, you'd be surprised to hear just how much money he has in the bank. But what does somebody like Tom Holland spend his hard-earned cash on, and what is his estimated net worth at the moment anyways? Well, whether you're a fan of the quick-quipped web-slinger or just want to know more about the guy who brought Spider-Man to life, you've come to the right place, as we're about to take a look in the net worth and lifestyle of the man himself. So strap yourselves in and get ready to explore as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. A little more about Tom. For those of you who don't know, Thomas Stanley Holland, as he is formerly known, was actually born on June 1st, 1996 in the quiet town of Kingston, England, to a family who not only accepted his love for the arts, but encouraged it. His mother, Nicola Frost, was actually a photographer at the time, while his father, Dominic Holland, performed on a nightly basis as a comedian. It must also be said that Tom has a bit of Irish in him as well, with his paternal grandparents being born on the Isle of Man and Tipperary, Ireland, respectively. He also has 3 younger brothers whom he likes to spend time with, 2 of whom are actually twins. Tom was educated at Don Head Preparatory School in Wimbledon, only to move on to Wimbledon College, which was also based in the Roman Catholic faith. Unfortunately for him, however, he was bullied at both institutions for being a dancer. This all changed when he graduated and went on to attend the Brit School of Performing Arts and Technology in Croydon, while also briefly attending school in Cardiff. His long and lucrative career began when he decided to take hip-hop classes at a dancing studio by the name of Nifty Feet every Saturday in Wimbledon. Unbeknownst to him, the owner of the studio was in fact Lynn Page, who just so happened to be the choreographer for the 2000 hit movie Billy Elliot. So when she spotted the young man performing at the Richmond Dance Festival in 2006, she asked him to audition for the Billy Elliot musical that was at the time in the works. And although he had next to no professional training in either theater or ballet, Tom impressed the director with his incredible stage presence and wholesome personality. This led to him training intensively in ballet, and after 2 years of hard work, ended up nabbing the role of Billy's best friend Michael in the incredible musical. This wasn't the end of his relationship with the director though, whom he continued to impress and ended up snatching the lead role of Billy Elliot only a few months later. And while he received massive praise for his captivating performances for the next 2 years, Tom was on occasion bullied for doing so by the other boys at his school. This bullying never deterred Tom from doing what he wanted to do though, and gave him the life experience necessary to pull off the role of Peter Parker later on. Not giving up on trying to make a name for himself in Hollywood, Tom auditioned for the role of the son of Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts in the movie The Impossible. This became Tom's first feature film debut, which had him working harder than ever just to not be outshined by the other incredible talents that were sharing the screen with him. Although he received critical acclaim for this role and was only 16 years old at the time, Tom decided to stay in school and found a group of friends that also appreciated the arts like him. After graduating 2 years later, Tom's world was turned upside down when he was offered an audition for the role of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was a dream come true considering how the character had always been his favorite Marvel superhero growing up. So he auditioned as a nervous wreck and surprisingly got the role, debuting in the MCU towards the midpoint of Captain America: Civil War. Suffice it to say, Marvel fans were impressed by his incredible performance of the web-slinging superhero, with many considering Tom to be the best portrayal of Peter since the animated character years earlier. And while Tom has indeed starred in other critically acclaimed roles from that day forward, it must be said that it is his work in the MCU that really has him making bank and impressing fans. We speak for everyone when we say we can't wait to see what he gets up to in his upcoming film, Spider-Man: No Way Home, and we'll be watching his interviews anxiously to see whether he lets anything slip about the upcoming property. Come on, Tom, we're waiting. Tom's net worth. As far as Tom's net worth is considered, the 24-year-old actor has been performing for quite a large portion of his life, and he has a long career despite despite his young age. He reportedly made around $500,000 for his stint on Billy Elliot the Musical, with his role in The Impossible bagging him $70,000. He then allegedly pulled in around $250,000 for the 30 minutes of screen time he had as Spider-Man in Civil War, with his next few appearances as the superhero bringing in a lot more than that, especially when it came to his solo movies. Taking all of this into account, experts have estimated his net worth to be about $15 million at the moment, which, considering the star's youth, is an insane amount of money. But what does Tom like to spend his cash on? His apartment. As we said earlier, Tom is nothing more than wholesomeness incarnate, and as such, doesn't like to brag to others about just how much he's earning. In fact, the guy doesn't even live the type of lavish lifestyle you'd expect from somebody earning as much money as he does. Rather than investing in a mansion, Tom actually made the decision to purchase a flat for himself in London back in 2017, which is actually no less than 5 minutes away from the house he grew up in. Discussing this purchase of his in an interview with Ellen DeGeneres, Tom admitted that it was actually his mother who found the property for him, as he had no idea what he was doing while pursuing the marketplace. And it's not like the apartment is huge either. Consisting of only 2 bedrooms, he also mentioned just how stressful it was to fill his apartment with furniture, stating that he had no idea how much he would actually need to buy. Not really a huge concern when you have the kind of net worth that he does though, right? His Spider-Man shrine. As of right now, people have altogether forgotten about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, who both portrayed the role of Spider-Man before Tom Holland took on the official role in the MCU. Not willing to give it up anytime soon though, Tom has also spent quite a bit of money on merch from his character, making his apartment a bit of a Spider-Man shrine that you'd expect a fan to have. This shows just how much Tom actually cares for the character. In fact, rumor has it that Tom used to sleep in a Spider-Man outfit when he was only 5 years old, making us love his portrayal of Peter even more. During a 2017 Facebook Live chat, Tom revealed to his fans that he has a bit of a shrine to his character in his apartment and was a bit embarrassed about it. He even has 3 pop figurines of the character in his bathroom, so we can't imagine what the rest of the apartment must look like. Either way, we're happy that someone so passionate about the character that Stan Lee so loved is now at the helm. It gives us Marvel fans hope about the future. Getting from A to B. In August 2018, Tom took to Twitter and, after apologizing to his mother, indicated that he was going to purchase a motorcycle, and while we're not sure which motorcycle he ended up buying, we're sure that it was quite a few dollars at the end of the day. But hey, if you can afford it, why not? We also have a feeling that this purchase might have been done as a bit of a joke, as Tom hasn't ever been seen riding on the motorcycle he so desperately wanted his mother to start panicking about. A vehicle that he does often use to get from A to B, however, is his Audi, which he constantly posts about on Instagram. It must also be said that he has reportedly purchased a BMW, Range Rover, and Jaguar for himself, making his car collection one that not many under the age of 25 can boast about. Suffice it to say, Tom enjoys a bit of choice when it comes to traveling, which is definitely what he deserves. With the most popular face in London, he can't very well take the subway to the shops and back after all. His sidekicks. Tom also has quite a few sidekicks in his life, as any superhero should. The first is his dog, Tessa, who has been in his life since 2014 and accompanies him to quite a few press conferences. Tom also posts about Tessa constantly on his Instagram account, showing that he can't go a day without expressing his love for the little bundle of joy. But this isn't the only sidekick that Tom has. In fact, his best mate Harrison is incredibly important to him, so much so that Tom has actually been paying him to be his assistant, allowing the two to enjoy the craziness of Tom's life together. In Tom's own words, "It was just a way to have my best mate with me through this journey, to enjoy it with him and have the same excitement and buzz we would have as kids going through an experience like that." According to Tom, both Tessa and Harrison also help to keep him grounded, which is especially useful when next to everyone on the street is calling your name. His charitable contributions. Last but not least, we have to include the fact that Tom has, with the help of his parents, launched a charity called the Brothers Trust, which has the aim of running a few events a year with the intention of donating money to a number of charities depending on where the need arises. In other words, he is not just a hero on screen. So what do you think of the life and times of Tom Holland? Feel free to let us know in the comments section.